Welcome to the Money Mindset and Habits podcast.
Great to be diving in again.
Today, we're tackling something really fundamental, a concept that can honestly change your whole financial picture: delayed gratification.
Yeah, and this isn't just, theory. We're going to look at a really famous study, the marshmallow experiment.
Right, the marshmallow experiment. Sounds simple, maybe even a bit silly.
It does, initially. But the insights it gives us about how we handle money day to day are, well, pretty profound.
Exactly. So our goal in this deep dive is to figure out why this ability to wait, to just say not yet, why people call that the greatest money skill.
And crucially, how you listening can actually put this into practice in your own life, make it work for you.
Okay, so let's paint the picture of the marshmallow experiment. What actually happened?
All right, imagine this. You've got a young child, maybe 4 or 5 years old, sitting alone in a room at a little table.
Okay.
A researcher comes in, puts a single marshmallow right there in front of them. A pretty tempting treat for a kid that age.
I can picture it. The temptation is real.
Totally. Then the researcher lays out the deal. They say, look, you can eat this one marshmallow right now if you want.
No strings attached.
No strings. But, the researcher adds, I have to leave the room for a little while, maybe about 15 minutes. If you can wait and not eat this marshmallow until I get back, then you'll get a second marshmallow as a reward. And then, poof, the researcher leaves. The kid is alone with the marshmallow.
Wow. 15 minutes is an eternity for a 4-year-old with a marshmallow staring them down.
It absolutely is.
Wow.
And what happened next is just fascinating. You see this intense internal struggle play out.
What did they do?
Well, some kids, grabbed it instantly, gone in seconds.
Predictable, maybe.
Yeah, but others tried all sorts of things to resist. They'd, cover their eyes, turn their chairs around, kick the table, stroke the marshmallow like a pet.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Some even tried to sing songs or talk to themselves to distract themselves from the urge. It was pure willpower on display.
That's amazing. And some actually managed to wait the whole time.
A smaller group, yes. They held out for that promised bigger reward, the 2 marshmallows.
It's such a simple test. But you can immediately see the parallels, can't you? That tension between wanting something now versus waiting for something potentially better.
Exactly. It seems playful, kids and candy, but it taps into something core about, success, self-control, and definitely our financial habits later in life.
So this brings us squarely to the concept itself, delayed gratification. Let's break that down.
Okay, so delayed gratification, in simple terms, is just that ability to resist grabbing an immediate reward or pleasure.
Right.
Because you understand that by waiting, you might get something even better or more valuable down the road.
It's choosing future you over present you, in a way.
Perfectly put. Choosing the second marshmallow, even when the first one is right there, looking delicious.
Sounds easy enough when you say it like that.
Doesn't it? But, let's be real. Anyone who's tried sticking to a same goal or resisting an impulse buy knows it. Well, it can be incredibly challenging in practice.
Oh, for sure. It often feels like a battle. And this is where it connects so directly to our finances today, right? Our marshmallows just look different now.
Absolutely. The temptations have evolved. It's maybe not a literal marshmallow anymore.
So what are these modern marshmallows?
Think about it. That shiny new smartphone offered on a low monthly payment plan, that's a marshmallow.
Okay, yeah.
That amazing holiday you see advertised, easily funded with a quick swipe of the credit card, another marshmallow.
Right. The instant trip versus saving up for it.
Exactly. Or even those buy now, pay later schemes that are everywhere now. They make getting things immediately feel almost effortless, consequence-free in the moment.
But it's the same core test underneath, isn't it? Resisting that immediate hit for a better long-term outcome.
It really is. The only difference is the stakes are, potentially much higher. We're talking about debt, financial stress, versus security and achieving big goals.
This hits on a common struggle, something I think a lot of listeners will recognize. Most people know what they probably should do with money.
Yeah, the knowledge isn't usually the main problem. We know saving is good, investing makes sense, planning for the future is important.
But it's the doing it, or rather the waiting that's involved in doing it. That seems to be the real hurdle.
That's the crux of it. It's that gap between knowing you should contribute to your retirement fund and actually doing it consistently month after month instead of, say, spending that money on something more immediately fun.
Or knowing that investing historically grows wealth over time, but then feeling that urge to pull your money out when the market gets shaky, or just wanting to spend it now on something tangible.
Right. It's that constant battle between our logical, long-term planning brain and our more impulsive, short-term desire brain.
And there's actually a biological reason why this is so hard, isn't there? It's partly how our brains are wired.
There is, yeah. Our brains often have this bias towards immediate rewards. Getting something pleasurable right now triggers a release of dopamine.
The feel-good chemical.
Exactly. Dopamine makes us feel good, reinforces the behavior. So choosing to delay gratification means consciously overriding that immediate dopamine hit.
Yeah.
And, well, that feels less pleasant in the short term.
That makes so much sense. And you could argue our whole modern economy is almost built to exploit that preference for now.
It really feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? Instant access, fast delivery, easy credit. Everything pushes towards immediate satisfaction.
It makes waiting feel almost unnatural, like you're swimming against the current.
It is a bit countercultural, actually. The prevailing message is often, get it now, don't wait. So consciously choosing patience requires effort.
But here's the flip side, and this is crucial. That very act of waiting, of going against that immediate urge, that's actually where real financial power comes from.
Precisely. Our sources really hammer this point home. The ability to wait isn't a weakness, it's a financial superpower, in a way.
People who can consistently put off that immediate pleasure for a bigger goal down the line.
They're the ones who tend to build significant, lasting wealth. It's a common thread.
And investing, I think, is maybe the ultimate example of delayed gratification in the financial world.
Absolutely. It's the perfect case study. Think about it.
Right.
You put money aside today.
Right.
And you get basically zero immediate reward. No new gadget, no fun experience right now.
You just see the money disappear from your account.
Exactly. You're trusting that over time, maybe years, maybe decades, through compounding and market growth, that money will become much more valuable. The payoff is entirely deferred.
And the key ingredient there, as the research often shows, isn't necessarily being a genius investor or starting with a huge amount. It's often just
Patience. Sticking with it. Resisting the urge to constantly tinker or react to every market blip. Letting time do its work. That's delayed gratification in action, consistently applied.
It's about that long view, isn't it? Resisting the short-term noise.
For sure. Okay, let's circle back to those kids in the original experiment. The story doesn't end when the researcher comes back in the room. They actually tracked these kids for years afterwards.
Right. And the findings there were really eye-opening, weren't they?
Truly remarkable. What they found, years and even decades later, was that the children who had managed to wait for that second marshmallow,
The delayers.
yes, the delayers, compared to the ones who ate it right away, tended to have, well, better life outcomes on average across a range of measures.
Like what specifically?
Things like higher scores on standardized tests, better academic performance overall, they were more likely to finish college, tended to hold better paying jobs, and even reported better physical and mental health as adults.
Wow. That's incredible from a single marshmallow test in childhood.
It is astounding, isn't it? It suggests that this ability to delay gratification isn't just about resisting sweets. It seems to reflect a more fundamental mindset, a capacity for self-control and long-term thinking that benefits many areas of life.
So that underlying skill, thinking ahead, managing impulses, considering future consequences before acting, that's the same skill we need for mastering our finances.
Exactly. It's the mental toolkit that allows you to make financial choices aligned with your long-term goals, rather than just reacting to whatever feels good or easy right now.
Okay, so this leads to a really practical challenge for everyone listening, something you can actually do.
Yeah, our sources suggest this kind of mental framing exercise.
Right. The next time you feel that pull, that urge to buy something you hadn't planned for, or click confirm purchase online, just pause.
Pause and ask yourself, okay, wait, is this my marshmallow moment?
I love that framing. Is this my marshmallow moment? It forces you to recognize the choice.
It does. And the follow-up question is, can I wait? Can I choose the potential second marshmallow, maybe hitting a savings goal faster, reducing debt, funding an investment over this immediate thing?
It's about seeing those moments for what they are, forks in the road, and knowing that each time you do choose to wait, each time you delay,
You're not just making a smart money move in that instance, you're actually strengthening that delay muscle, that self-discipline.
and that discipline ultimately is what helps you build the financial life you actually want. It connects the dream to the reality.
Couldn't agree more. It's about consciously building that habit of prioritizing your future self.
Now, if you're finding this discussion helpful, thinking about how these concepts apply to your financial habits, and you want more practical tips and strategies.
Then definitely check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Finance Tips. We go deeper into topics like this all the time.
We do. Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway here really seems to be consistency.
Yeah, consistently choosing that long-term benefit, even when the short-term pleasure is right there waving at you. That seems to be the hallmark of people who achieve real financial well-being.
It's remembering that wealth building isn't usually about overnight success. It's a long game, like you said earlier.
It is. And it's won by making that choice for later over now, again and again and again.
So here's a final thought to leave you with as you go about your week. What's your marshmallow moment going to be this week?
Yeah, be mindful of it. When that financial temptation arises, pause. Think about the 2 marshmallows. Can you choose to wait for the bigger reward? Give it a try.
Thank you so much for listening to the Money Mindset and Habits podcast.
And seriously, don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, Finance Tips, for more insights to help you build that stronger financial future.